So I just watched a video on delayed life syndrome, and I realized how much I fucking delayed my life out of fear, trauma, staying in my mind, and it just inspired me to just start this fucking channel. I'm still learning how to communicate because I know that people that may watch this channel may not know who I am at all. Some people will. But a dream I've had for many years, even since my mid 20s, and I'm 33 now, and has been to live my life out loud and share my journey, share my experiences, share my challenges, just share all of me with the world, like truly all of me. And in doing so, feel so free and help other people move through shame. I have dealt with so much fucking shame my whole life. I was bullied quite a bit. My eyes are really like deep and close, and I was called Cyclops. I was also really, really sensitive. I am really, really sensitive, and I was called a pussy and a fag, and I was also in the smart classes, so I was bullied for my intelligence. And so these experiences of being bullied left me with this deep fear of rejection. And as a child, I was so expressive, just a goofball and dancing and laughing and being, hilarious. And so I'm so grateful because the last 2 years I've spent traveling. I was in a long-term relationship. I've had a lot of experiences with like plant medicine and breath work and things of that nature. And I was in Hawaii for the last 3 months living in a community. And I realized I needed to come back to my childhood home. I was feeling unsafe and I didn't have any money. And so I'm back at my childhood home near Chicago at ground zero of sorts, like fully looking at all the walls that I've had, all the masks, all the fucking layers of armor around my heart. And it's been really intense to see. It's been really intense to process really deep emotions that haven't been felt. Like yesterday I had a breathwork session with a dear sister, and I was screaming and writhing and yelling and I felt so much fear in my body, like just this visceral fear and this visceral grief of like never consistently letting myself just be fucking alive, just live, and spending so much of my life dissociated, planning, putting off things, like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, like creating the perfect routine in this perfectionism ultimately, because perfectionism stems from the belief that I'm not good enough unless I'm perfect. And if I'm perfect, maybe then I'll be accepted. Maybe. And I remember so many times in my teens and in my 20s where I would like have to have like my hair perfect. I'd have to have like a 6-pack and everything would have to be perfect. And then when I would go out with my friends, I'd be so self-conscious that I would never be able to relax. And so this video, this next chapter of my life is, I want it so badly, and it's going to be so badly, me trusting myself and living more consistently. And I also want to forgive myself for being exactly where I am. There's nothing wrong. That's been one of the things that has fucked me up a lot, is holding on to this guilt or shame around not living, or feeling like a child a lot of the times. Like when I was, honestly, even in this moment, I often feel like a scared 5-year-old boy a lot of the time, wandering around for scraps of validation. And so much has been happening. I've been back here for 3 weeks with my parents, and it's been a lot of growth to see the patterns. And I've been doing a lot of yoga and body-based practices because I realize that somatic-based therapies are the best way for dealing with trauma. And I'm actually going to be going to see like an expressive therapist to work with dancing, because I've really gotten in touch with the last 3 months, and then especially the last couple weeks, how much I just want to dance. And I feel the most free when I am fully allowing God, and that's my theory, is that like we feel the most free when we're allowing God to flow through us uninhibitedly. And I've been getting all these nudges and synchronicities about that and about connecting to that for myself and just letting myself express and be weird. And I've been so afraid to be myself because sometimes my body and my mouth, my expression, I want to say things that may trigger people or may look weird, right? And there's still that little boy inside of me that's like, I can't do that because I'm going to be shamed and judged and I won't be able to handle it. And what I'm realizing is that it gets to be a slow process. It can be a slow process of like getting more in touch with my body, feeling these pains that I've been numbing my whole life, this deep grief, the sadness that the little boy experienced, the pain that led to like codependency and not trusting myself. And so here I am at 33, back living at my parents', and I think part of my resistance to posting this video has been wanting to be perfect, that perfectionism of like, oh, I have this vision of what my YouTube channel is going to be, and I'm going to have all these subscribers, and people are going to be impacted, and it's going to be perfect. And so I've been so afraid to make the first video because it has to be fucking perfect. But no, this video is my live journal of my life and of my process. And I want to keep it as much as I can in the present and going forward. I will bring up probably things from the past when they feel applicable, but essentially, in summary, I've lived much of my life in deep trauma, fear of rejection, chameleon tendencies. I was diagnosed with ADHD. I have my own theories on that, which I'll probably share in another video. But I'm realizing how much of the time I have not let myself live in my body, expressing, trusting myself, and just being here. And ironically, that's the only thing I've ever really wanted, is to just feel fucking alive and to trust what comes up and to know that I am safe and supported in that expression. And I've never felt able to like connect to what I actually want consistently, or to connect to my desires. So this is the beginning of honoring my desires, which are to create this channel, to travel. I've had dreams of building out a van and traveling and creating videos of my journey, dancing, exploring, experiencing, just channeling whatever God is moving through me, whether it is dance, whether it's speech, but just living. And then there's such a high desire, and it feels pure, not from like a needing to be seen perspective. There's such a high desire of just wanting to touch other people's lives, to like let them know that no matter where they're at, no matter where you are at, there is nothing to be fucking ashamed of. It doesn't matter how much trauma you're carrying, or how afraid you've been, or what you haven't done, or whether or not you feel like a wounded girl or boy and you walk around that way and you're scared. It's okay. And I'm speaking to you as much as I'm speaking to me right now. It's okay. Every moment, every breath is a fresh start. And so this is my first video, and I know that the channel is going to evolve organically, and I get to let go of perfectionism and needing to get it right, because that perfectionism has kept me in that delayed life syndrome. Like, oh, I'll do it when everything's perfect, when I have the money, when I have the perfect body, when I feel strong and confident all the time, then I'll live my life. What's that Beatles song? Tomorrow Never Comes? I think it's Tomorrow Never Knows, but Tomorrow Never Comes. So here I am, and it feels good. I can always tell in my body when I'm doing something that's aligned with my energy, because I feel alive and engaged and here. And that's how I feel right now. So welcome to my channel. The Kai Eros experience, that is my soul's name. And it means, Kai means keeper of the keys. And Eros has traditionally meant like sexual energy, but for me it's about creative energy. I feel like one of the archetypes that exists in me is this embodiment of like Cupid. And Cupid is the Roman equivalent of Eros, or Greek. Not sure which is which. But it's, you know, that like little boy who just goes around with a bow and arrow and just shoots people full of like passion and love. And like my soul is so expressive, and this vision that is becoming true right now is that I'm going to travel around and just be in like awe and wonder at everything. Because life is fucking beautiful. Even the tears, even the days I wake up and I want to fucking die. Like there's a beauty in that. Like we're here to experience it. And I've resisted that my whole life, and I've always been like, what is the meaning? What is the meaning? And the meaning is to fully let myself be me. And me is this person who is just fully expressed and unlocked as much as possible in each moment, and real and raw, and who is sharing the joy and the passion and helping all of us realize that we are all the same. We all have fucking the same fears. And we all deserve to feel safe and to follow our fucking dreams and to follow our fucking hearts. So this is day one.